There is nothing worse than a very long afternoon and evening after a skipped nap day. So let's talk about first how to avoid that happening, and second, what to do if it does actually happen to you. So if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Jensine. I'm a certified pediatric sleep consultant, certified postpartum doula, and mom of 3 who takes real sleep science and real life strategies, brings them together to get your family the sleep that you deserve. So naps are always a hot topic because they're so important. They're important for the children so they can get the rest that they need in order to be able to sleep well that night. And they are so important for parents because, let's be honest, we need a break and we count on these nap times coming. And when they don't come and our child is crying or struggling for over an hour and we just say, forget it, we secretly know in the back of our mind that A, we wish that they had napped easily, but B, it's going to be a long day. So let's get into what to actually do so that a skipped nap does not ruin your day. So the first thing I talked about was prevention. How do we make sure that your child does not skip a nap? And one important thing that a lot of people don't sometimes plan for is what happens before that nap. So this is especially important if you are transitioning down in naps. So if your child is going from 3 naps down to 2 naps or 2 naps down to 1, you really need to think about the morning and what's happening before that nap time is coming. Because we are pushing that awake window to make that nap later, they are naturally going to get more tired. So if you get in the car, if you get in the stroller, if you're doing anything for more than like 5 quick minutes to go somewhere, odds are they are going to fall asleep. And falling asleep outside of a nap time is the #1 killer of naps. So ideally, I know this is a very big ask, but for about the 2 weeks as you're transitioning down in naps, you really want to try to avoid any morning trips. You want to not be in the car or not put them in the stroller for a walk at least an hour, more like hour and a half, 2 hours before that nap, because the likelihood that they are going to fall asleep in that time is so great. And then once they do fall asleep, then the odds are that they are going to take a nap at the normal time you want them to. After that is zilch. It's none. So we really want to prevent that nap in the first place. So really making sure, looking at your morning plans, saying, okay, we're transitioning down to naps. I know you're going to get tired earlier as we're pushing this, so I'm not going to have any big plans for the morning. We're going to stay home. We're going to lay low. Maybe if we do go somewhere, it's a 5-minute or less car ride, and I'm going to do everything in my power to keep you awake. Because if and when they do fall asleep, we need them to build that sleep pressure back up, which leads us to point number 2, is that if your child does fall asleep in a car ride, in a stroller ride before that first nap, or even between any naps, then we're going to have to push that next nap back by at least 30 minutes to help them build some additional sleep pressure. Because they took the edge off with that nap, even if it was only a 5-minute nap in the car or stroller, because they took the edge off, it's now going to be harder for them to fall asleep. If we're thinking about adult sleep, it's kind of like if you take a nap at all during the day, it's definitely going to be harder for you to fall asleep at bedtime. We need that typical amount of sleep pressure that you build up during the day in order to be ready for bedtime. And for them, we need that sleep pressure to build up so they're ready for that next nap. So if they do fall asleep, you're going to do 2 things. You're going to push that nap back by at least a half an hour so we can build a little bit more sleep pressure depending on how long they slept. If they slept for like a normal nap time, then we need a full wake window before they're ready to sleep again. But if they only got a quick snooze in, you move that nap back. But in that time, we do as much physical activity as we can to get them more tired. So we play outside, especially sunlight is going to help. We play outside. If it's a rainy day, we run around, we climb, we build, we knock things down, we run, we kick, we dance. We do all of the things to help them get more tired, especially depending on their age. If they are just learning to pull to stand, we're putting toys up on the couch and we're putting them back down on the floor. We're moving them around so they can crawl to get the other toys. We're doing as much physical things as we can. If they're a little bit older, we're doing a lot of tummy time. We're doing a lot of floor time. I think I said older, but I meant younger. We're doing a lot of floor time. We're doing a lot of tummy time. Whatever is active for your child's age is what we want to be doing to help build that sleep pressure. And then we're really having a big difference between the daytime and the night. So once we're transitioning into nap time, it is calm, it is quiet, it is dark. We are really setting that scene so they know that it is now time to sleep. The third thing, so now we've talked about preventative strategies. Now we're going to talk about what happens when that nap is skipped. It is done, it is over, that nap is not happening. When we think of bedtime, we're going to move that bedtime up by 30 minutes. So notice I've said 30 minutes. If we need to move a nap back, it's by 30 minutes. If we need to move bedtime up, it's by 30 minutes. We really don't want to fluctuate too much because we want to keep that ideal time so their body clock is still setting. But because children aren't robots, we need to be able to move things as needed. So we're going to move bedtime up by 30 minutes when they have missed a nap. And we don't want to really think about this as putting them to bed early. We actually want to think about this as catching up on the sleep that they missed, because a lot of parents are nervous to put their little ones down any earlier than their traditional bedtime, worrying that's going to wake them up earlier in the morning. And if you're already struggling with early mornings, that feels like a really, really scary, risky thing to do. But what it's actually doing is helping them make up for the sleep that they lost during the day and prevent them from becoming too overtired. Because if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that when children get overtired or they're tired but sleep is not offered or an option, then their cortisol levels rise. When those levels rise, it's telling them something is dangerous. I should be worried. There's a reason that I am not sleeping now because my life may be in danger. There may be a tiger or something around. And then when it is time for them to sleep, they're just still at a very alert state of sleep because their body is still thinking that they're in danger. So we want them to go to bed earlier to make sure that they're not hitting that overtiredness and they can get into a nice deep sleep and not have their body feel like they're constantly on alert. So if you are wondering about schedules, if you think maybe your child might be ready to transition down in naps, all you have to do is comment schedule below, and I will also put the link in the description to my free schedule guide. It gives you sample schedules by age and helps you know when it's time to transition in naps and how to actually make that happen. So again, all you have to do is comment schedule below or go to the link in the description. If you are struggling with naps and your child is consistently skipping naps, that may be a sign that they are ready to transition down. So definitely look at that free guide, check out your child's age, see if this is around the time that should be happening, and then go for it. Don't be scared. It could feel like you're shaking things up, but we're shaking things up to create a better pathway, to create a better foundation. So just do it. And if you have any questions, as always, you can pop them below in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.